please pause it at any time if you have any questions, and maybe keep this video open in one tab and the survey open in another. The very first part, internal use only, this will be filled out when you get the survey, and there's nothing that you need to fill out there. The basic info, this will be you who's filling out the survey, your name, email, and phone. And this is just for our internal use. If we have any questions about information that's in the survey, we know who to reach out to. We're not going to put your name up on the website. Everything that's below this line, that will be information that does show up on the website. Do keep in mind that anything you put in this survey is not set in stone and can always be changed. Some of it's pretty basic here. Your company name, if you have a slogan, your address, phone number, toll-free number, and hours. If you're a brick and mortar site, you're probably going to want to show your address and phone number. However, if you're e-commerce only, you may want to hide those. Again, if you're brick and mortar, you're probably going to want to show your address. And if you have more than one physical location, you can choose how many locations you have and add those other locations information here. If you have a logo for the business you would like us to use, please upload it. Do note that if you save this survey as a draft before completing it, you will need to re-upload that file. If you don't have an actual file to upload, but your logo happens to be on a domain name, please just put that in here. We will do our best to retrieve that logo from the website. And if you have neither of those and you don't have a logo, maybe it's a new business, just select no, and our designers will take your name and create a logo using stylized text. Current website URL, so if you have a website, please put in your domain name. If you do not have a website, leave it blank or put none. For the new domain name, most of the time that's going to be the exact same as your old domain name. If it's a new website, please put in the domain name you would like to use, and we'll see if it's available for purchase. Your website does include up to 10 domain-based emails. If you would like some, click yes and put what the emails would be. A domain-based email would be sales@johnpowersports.com or info@johnpowersports.com. It's going to be something at the domain. Again, these are optional, and you may have these set up already through GoDaddy or your current administrator. If you want to keep them through that, that is fine. Maybe you just use a Gmail or Hotmail account. That is also fine. Again, these are optional, but your website includes up to 10. If you need more than 10, please contact your account manager. Social media, this would be to include a logo for the respective social media site. If you do a Facebook account you want to link to, simply put in that link. And we're not asking for your username or password. We just want the link so that we can link your website to your Facebook account. For social media placement, I would say the majority of the time this would be in the header. It could be in the page content area too, but most of the time that'll be in the header. And lastly, payment methods. This would be to show logos of different credit cards that you would accept for online payment. Again, just to show the logo. On the next page of the survey here, we've got kind of two general directions we can go with the website. A cleaner homepage or a dynamic homepage. I'll show you the dynamic first. That would be this one right here. Dynamic basically is referring to this widget bar over here on the right hand side. It's a column of information that runs up and down the page. That's what we call the widget bar. Now you will have an editor for your website, and in that editor you will have a lot of flexibility over this widget bar. You can rename widgets. You can rearrange the order of them with a drag and drop system. You can turn widgets on or off, and you can create custom widgets if you want. So there's a lot of flexibility with that. However, you can see that the widget bar gets to be fairly long, or can. It's also going to be presenting a lot more options for your customers. Not to say that that's a bad thing, but when a customer first comes to the website, there's a lot of information to digest. So if you feel that the website's a little overwhelming and you want to clean it up and make it easier for for customers to navigate the website, my suggestion would be going with a clean layout, and that would be this one here. You'll notice there is no widget bar on the home page. However, interior pages will have that bar, that column of information. But it's just going to take the customer to very specific areas of the website right from the home page. So on your survey, make your selection clean or dynamic, and you will have some additional options here depending on which one you choose. It's basically the location of the call to action buttons, which we'll talk about a little bit later on the survey. So pick an option and move on to the next page, which is color scheme. A recommended choice is to utilize colors from your logo. If you don't have a logo, or your logo may be changing, and you're a single line OEM, you can select the second option and choose your OEM. This would be good if you are just a Honda or just a Kawasaki. If you're a multi-line OEM dealer, I wouldn't suggest option 2. You could choose option 3, where it asks for a primary, secondary, and accent color. And if you're not quite sure what you want to do, just pick the fourth one, and our designers will choose colors for you. Overall brightness of the website, we've got darker, we've got lighter. If you look at a website for about 1 second, you can tell whether it's overall light or dark. That's all we're asking here. You can always choose no preference as well. Background style. So we've got a couple options here for you, and let me just show you some of these different examples. Clean would be this one here. We're talking about the far left and far right hand side of the website. It's called the gutter, the skin, the wallpaper. It's all the same thing. Clean in this case has a little bit of texture. It could just be a solid color, white, black, brown, purple. Could be a gradient, light to dark, dark to light. Could include a diamond plate, carbon fiber, honeycomb pattern, tire tracks. Those would all be considered clean. Not too much going on in the background, but giving the website a little bit of depth. Definitely a good way to go. It's going to keep the focus on the content area. Another alternative would be a lifestyle image, which would be this one, which actually has 2 images. There's one on either side, which would be the max we would want to do, 1 vehicle per side. Lifestyle, obviously, we have somebody riding the vehicles, using the equipment. So this would be considered lifestyle, as would this one. Again, 1 lifestyle image, person riding the vehicle. This one also includes a decent amount of padding between the main navigation bar and the start of the homepage content. That's the only real difference there. And third option would be kind of a landscape or a location shot, something close to your neighborhood or your neck of the woods. Again, there's nobody riding vehicles in the background here, but it's definitely a scenic image, and I wouldn't consider this a clean background. So choose your background style and put some notes in there. If you want a landscape image, tell us a little bit about the area you're in. Is it more arid? Is it rocky? Are you on the coast? Is it mountains? If you want lifestyle images, do you want a Honda ATV? Do you want a Skidoo, snowmobile? What do you want to see? Header design notes would be, please include my hours in the header. Please include my social media logos in the header, things like that. Homepage content. Do you have a store image to use? I would say 99% of the time I select no on this. If you select yes, you will need to upload the file, and again, if you save this survey to a draft, you will need to re-upload that file. But this question is primarily asking if you want to put a store image in your header, and again, I wouldn't advise that. It's going to make your header taller than it needs to be and the website busier than it needs to be. That's not to say that you can't have a store image on your website. You can certainly put one in the homepage content. You can put one in your gallery page or on your About Us page. So it's not to say that you can't have a store image, but I wouldn't advise putting one in your header. SEO text refers to search engine optimization text. These are some questions that we'd like you to answer. Not all of them. If you can answer up to 3 of them, that would be great. Your answers can be as long or as short as you want, but we're not looking for yes/no answers. We want something with some substance in there. Google will be looking at this, and it's a great way for you to differentiate yourself from your competitors. The answers you put, or the answers you give, we will put on the home page here in that text, that body of text. Now, customers won't always read this, but Google will. So you do want to have something unique in there for Google to look at. It doesn't need to be just text, and this is an area that you can edit through the command center. This demo site has an image, it has a YouTube video. This is all part of the text asset on the home page, which is something that you will be able to manage very easily through your editor. So try and answer at least 3 of those questions, but if you answer more, you'll just be giving Google more information. For featured OEM or aftermarket logos, I'll show you what I mean. This is an optional area, but down at the bottom of this site we have some OEM logos, Can-Am, Honda, Polaris, etc. This would just be a OEM logo bar. You could do just an aftermarket logo bar with Alpine Star, HJC, FMF, Michelin. Those could just be aftermarket logos you want to show. Or you could do a mix and match of OEM and aftermarket. Either option you choose, we would try and maximize that at 10 or fewer. Beyond 10 and your logos will, or your logo bar will be a little cumbersome. But again, it is optional and you don't need to put any there if you don't want any. For call to action buttons, you get to choose how many you want. My suggestion would be 5 or fewer, and the call to action buttons again would be these here. They can be as simple as new vehicles, pre-owned, services, coupons, OEM parts, or they could be more specific. Honda street bikes, Yamaha snowmobiles, etc. If you choose something that's a little more specific, you'll want to select other, and you'll want to put the title in. Don't worry about the link, we will come up with the link for you. Last page of the survey, do you have any content to migrate from your existing site? If you don't have a current website, just hit no and move on. If you have a website and have some good content, let's say your About Us page has some good text and you don't want to lose it. Go ahead and put the About Us as the title, put the link to your About Us page, and any notes that you may want to include, things that we could omit or possibly change. We can migrate up to 10 here. If you need more, please reply to the person who sent this survey to you and let them know of additional pages. Things that you would not want to migrate would be your Contact Us page or your Showcase page, as these would be built into our system. Online scheduling, we have a few options for you here. The easiest would simply be no, I do not wish to list any sort of services at all on my website. Good option if you're e-commerce only. However, if you do service vehicles, we've got 2 directions you can go with that. You can allow customers to see your services and then submit a quote request for the specific service, and then you would treat that as a lead generator and reach out to the customer. Or you can allow the customer to see a calendar with days and time frames. It's not a very specific time frame or a specific time that they would be picking. It's more of a tentative, and you would want to reach out to the customer and let them know if that time would work or not. Again, it would be a lead generator, but it's going to be giving you a little bit more information about what the customer is looking for as far as a time frame. Once you pick an option there, go through our pre-designed services here. You can select them all if you want, or go through them individually. These can be adjusted in your command center, and this is not the final list. If you offer a service that we do not have on our list, you can always add it in to your website through the command center. Widgets, these would be that right-hand column of information. It may be on your home page, or it will definitely be on all interior pages, depending on what you chose on page 2 of this survey. Get Connected would be links to social media. Factory promotions, if you are an OEM dealer, I would highly advise turning that one on. This gets automated or updated automatically for you. Featured inventory, featured products are optional. You can turn them on if you so choose, and you would choose the items, either accessories or vehicles, to showcase in there. Header links would be at the very top of the site. These are header links, and these are optional. You can always turn these on or off in your command center at any time. Hours, pretty self-explanatory. Model search allows the customer to search for inventory through your site. Don't do that if you're e-commerce only. Newsletter signup is a tool to collect customer emails. We do not have any sort of newsletter tool that will send out an email blast through our editor. This is simply a tool to collect emails. OEM Parts Finder, if you've signed up for the parts fiche, please select that. If you're a Polaris VIP dealer, please select that. And Shop by Fitment and Your Shopping Cart are good options if you have accessory catalogs activated. If you're only a vehicle dealer, leave those off. Additional default pages. Most of these are structured pages, meaning they are already in your command center and you can simply turn them on or off at any time. Structured pages also means that it's basically fill in the blank. Coupons, events, links, photo gallery, staff. You fill in the blank and the page will format itself automatically. For staff, for example, you put the individual's name, their title, a bio would be optional, and an image would be optional, and then repeat for the next person, and repeat, and the page will format itself. Again, you can turn these on later if you'd like. Lastly, navigation links. We will create a navigation bar for you depending on options you've chosen throughout this survey. If you have something unique that you'd want to include in there, maybe say a rentals page or a videos page, I would note that here. Otherwise, we will have home, contact us, about us, new, accessories, links like that we will include already. And your navigation bar can always be changed through your editor at any time. Down at the very bottom of each of these pages in the survey is a save link. You can always save your survey, but again, if you are uploading any files, you'll have to re-upload those when you come back and finish the survey. And that is the end of the survey. You would simply hit submit and we will get notification that you were complete. Thank you.